I'm the Secretary General of the Romanian Federation Sport for All. First of all, I would like to say thank you to TAFISA and its members for electing me to be a part of the next European Steering Committee. I'm very grateful for this honor. I would like to start presenting a bit about happy aging in Romania. So I did some research about aging because it's a fairly new topic and programs in Romania. So the statistics from the World Health officials are quite worrying. So by 2015, 80% of people will be living in low and mid-income countries. The number will be quite big, almost double by 2050. And by 2020, they will outnumber the children younger than 5 years old. So the majority of the population will be an aging population. Therefore, we will see all aspects of life being affected by it, like health and social security, education, social economic activities, family life, and labor market. It's also one of the most worrying aspects about the whole aging process. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling quite stressed about growing older. But I'm trying to come up with ways and programs to present to people and make sure that elders feel that it's not the end of the world. They still have a lot of possibilities, and programs they can go to. So the global population aged 60 years old and over was of 962 million in 2017, more than twice as much as it was in 1980. The number of older people are expected to double again by 2050, when it's projected to reach nearly 2.1 billion people. Also, as mentioned before, Japan is home to the oldest citizen in the world, with 20% of the population being 65 years old or older. It's predicted that nearly a third of the Japanese population, so almost 33%, will be senior citizens by 2030. At the present moment, more than 1 in 4 people in the country is over 65 years old, whereas the country's population age between 15 and 64 fell by 4% between 2000 and 2010. Here are some of the activities that elder people can find in senior living communities. As you can see, the first two are physical activities. So they understand exactly how important physical activity is for people. And then we have, of course, social activities and mental activities. Here are some of the benefits of physical activities, especially for elder people. The physical activities and all the sports program help maintain the ability to live independently. It reduces the risk of fracturing bones and not being able to take care of yourself. It reduces the risk of dying from coronary heart disease, developing high blood pressure, colon cancer, diabetes. And it's also recommended that seniors age 65 and older get at least 2.5 hours of moderate aerobic activities, such as we've seen earlier, walking. That averages about 30 minutes on most days of the week. Here are examples of sport and fitness activities for elder people. Obviously, the best one is swimming, and then we have cycling, walking, squash, golf, and outdoor walking. So I don't know what it's like in your country, but in Romania, swimming, even though, as you can see, it gives a complete workout, both muscular and cardiovascular, which is very important. It's very difficult to find the right people who can have swimming programs for elder people. You need special abilities to be able to have such programs. People who are specially trained Not everyone is capable of doing this. In Romania, we also have a bit of a problem with the swimming pools. There aren't so many, and even less people who are capable of having swimming programs. Then squash, it's pretty new. I think it was last year we had the first time the squash federation in Romania. So for the first time it's being introduced to younger people. It will be a while before it reaches elder people, but and it's also quite expensive being so new. Golf, in Romania we don't even have golf courses. So I really don't see how we can have any kind of programs, especially for seniors. And northern walking, well, it's we don't live in the north. So cycling and walking are definitely the two activities that remain. Activities that are specific for Sport for All. They are very easy to implement, and they are very inexpensive. So they're perfect for seniors who also want to take part in activities with other people. So walking groups and cycling groups are very important. Now I would like to show you three examples of activities in Romania. We have a festival that's of sports and culture. We had the eldest. I wrote that the eldest participant was of 86-year-old, but I think it was 97. The purpose of this whole festival, which we'll show pictures of, is to promote sports and culture as a means of communication and constant education. It's an alternative to spend their free time for the others. We emphasize socializing, so this festival is not just for elders, it's for all age groups. So to increase communication and of course the respect between generations, and something I've noticed very frequently in our activities, there's this exchange of good practices between participants, especially for young people who have now started to ask elders for advice. It's something that before it didn't really happen. It was a bit of a more separation between the generations. So you will see in the pictures that we have different activities. We have table tennis and basketball. Yeah, you can show the pictures. Thank you. Can you? Yeah, thank you. So we have special activities. They usually, as you can see in this picture, we try to have both young people and older people taking part in the same activities. There is a sense of community and respect, mutual respect, that happens between the generations. We try to have elders teaching young people how to, for example, play chess in this situation. Whenever we have a competition like running, we never make any difference between, well, we make some differences, but we try to incorporate both young people and elders in the competition. This person was 97 years old, as I said before, so yeah, just an example. As you can see, socializing for them is very important. They don't want to be alone, they want to be part of the community, to feel like they still belong somewhere. This is bowling, so maybe we'll introduce bocce next year. Table tennis, basketball, chess. As you can see, it's very important to have this communication between generations. Another activity we have is called A Chance for All, which is a project, is quite new. It's for people with disabilities. It's in collaboration with associations for deaf people and blind people, humanitarian foundations for integration and orientation, associations for people with neuromotor disabilities. We try to promote a better health through sports activities of low intensity, developing the sense of competition, offering possibilities of discovery of their own strength and of the community. Can we see the pictures from this activity? Now, it may seem like an easy activity to implement, but it's actually quite difficult. We need to have special sports and special games for different disabilities. For example, here we can see chess in blind people. People who have neuromotor disabilities are quite difficult to work with. You have to have an accompanying person for each person taking part in the competition. You have to be very patient. You have to have the organization of the event very well planned. Everything has to be thorough, so you don't have any, so they don't have any way of feeling not included or not having that sense of just sitting around. They have to be involved in activities all the time. As you can see, they're not very difficult. They're very difficult activities. They're just the important thing is for them to do something. And some of them are just people with Down syndrome. There are not that know the difference between being healthy and being a person with disability. So they try to be as much as part of the activity as possible. And the last activity that I wanted to show was, we can move on, was an activity that we have for quite a while. It's called the cross. It's a veterans cross. It's specific for elders that have been practicing sports for most of their lives. They are used to physical activities or former athletes. I've noticed that if people have been active, it's very important for them to continue with regular activities. It will keep them in good health for longer. And it's common to notice a decrease in health and general well-being if someone has had an active lifestyle and at an older age they stop. Can we show the pictures? Thank you. Yeah, so one thing I've noticed from these activities, our elders are very competitive. And they want to win, and it's very impressive to see that fire and desire they have to win all the time. They're also very happy whenever they get a medal or a diploma. They feel like they achieved something, and I think the sense of achieving something is even more important as they grow older. So they're very happy. It's not much. We don't give them a lot, just like a medal or a diploma, but it means a lot to them. Right. So in closing, from all our activities, we managed to draw some conclusions, and we have found that. Being elder doesn't mean that you don't have any options. It just means that you can find something else to work on and to be a part of sport. And in Sport for All, I think we can all develop programs for people that can be and stay in good health for as much as possible. And to make sure they feel part of the community and to show them the respect they deserve and to treat them as valuable and important members of the community. Thank you.